Alright, let's look at the homework 7.5, 7.6, problem number 14. Alright, so actually there's a hint here, so I'm going to just go ahead and use this hint. Alright, so we want to maximize this volume XYZ subject to this given condition. Alright, so let's do that. Alright. Alright, capital F function is going to be, let's see, XYZ minus lambda times this guy right here. So 3xy plus 4xz plus 4yz. Then I'm going to put it on the other side, so it's a negative 5,184. Right? Then we're going to take the set of partials. So take the partial with respect to x. That's going to give us yz. Right? Negative lambda is just a constant. Right? Then partial of that would be 3y. And then partial of that would be 4z. And partial of these guys is going to be 0 because there's no x in there, so that's constant. Alright, so set that equal to 0. And the partial of capital F with respect to y would be xz minus lambda, just a constant. Right, there's no z, and the 4x plus 4y. Actually, I think I made a mistake here. Here, I didn't do it correctly. I was doing with respect to z. This is with respect to y. Sorry about that. So we have 3x, right? And there's no y there, so that's 0. So it's a plus 4z. And the derivative constant is 0, so set that equal to 0. And the partial of capital F with respect to z would be xy and negative lambda, right? There's no z, so that's 0. That's going to be 4x and the plus 4y, and then set that equal to 0. Alright, then the last one, remember that always if you take the partial with respect to lambda and set that equal to 0, that's always going to give you the constraint part. So it's a 3, I'm going to just write it down, 3xy plus 4xz plus 4yz is equal to 5,184. Alright, then let's see, let's look at these partials, these equations. So here I'm going to actually put this guy on the other side, so we can write it as a yz is equal to lambda 3y plus 4z, right? And xz lambda, right? 3x plus 4z, right? This is 4. It's kind of hard to see, so this should be plus 4z. Right? Then here we get let's see, xy is equal to lambda 4x plus 4y. Right? And we're trying to find think of a good way to combine these equations. So one thing we can think of is that I'm going to actually try to make xyz out of these three equations. So I'm going to multiply both sides by x for this guy, and here multiply this guy by, there's no y, so I'm going to multiply both sides by y, and here there's no z, so x, y, z, so multiply by z there. right? So you can see that the left hand side is all three equations. You have x, y, z, x, y, z, x, y, z. So these have to be equal to each other. So we have this equation. So lambda, right? So multiply. So 3xy. So I'm just distributing x to both sides, both terms. So you have 4xz. This is the same thing as lambda, right? So you have a 3xy plus 4yz. That's equal to lambda, right? Distribute z, so 4xz plus 4yz, right? So one thing we can do is everyone has lambda in it, so I'm going to divide through by lambda, so basically we can just cancel those lambdas out. Alright, then you can get a bunch of equality here. Let's see. So if you look at this equality, we can see that there's a 3xy there, 3xy there, so they can cancel out. So it says that the 4xz is equal to 4yz, right? So from that equation, we can get, right? So these are the same, so these has to be the same, and divide through by 4. So xz is actually the same thing as yz, right? And another thing we can do is looking at this equation right here, right? So we have 4yz matched up. So we know that 3xy is equal to 4xz, right? So 3xy is equal to 4xz, right? So we have that. And what else? We can probably look at these, right? Then let's see, there's a 4xz. Then you have a 3xy is equal to 4yz. So 3xy equals 4yz. Alright. Alright, so let's see. Once you have that, I think we can rewrite. Actually, we probably didn't need the third one. But we can plug all these things back into this fourth equation because we haven't used that guy yet. So let's do that. Alright, so I'm gonna solve for xy first. So here, 3xy, oops, 3xy, I'm gonna keep this guy, right? And here, 4xz, we know that the 4xz is the same thing as 3xy. So I'm gonna just put 3xy instead, right? Then here 4yz, actually 4yz is right here, which is again the same thing as 3xy, right? So that's a long way of saying 9xy, so which is equal to 5,184, right? And let's divide through by 9, right? So xy is equal to, let's see, let's do this, 5,084, right, divide by 9, right, so it's 545, and subtract, and the 68, and the 7, and let's see, 63, and 54, and 6, 54. Alright, got it. So it's 576. So I don't like big numbers. Alright, so we got that. And then we have xy. But once you know xy, then we can find xz. So here, xz so is equal to divide through by 4, so it's actually 3/4 xy. Alright, so this is going to be equal to let's see, so 3/4 and xy came out to be 576, right? So that's what, let's say I have to divide by 4. So here 4 cancel out with this guy, hopefully, and you have 1 and 6, 6, right? So you multiply by 3. 3 times 6 is 18, and 3 times 6 is 18, and 3, so it's a 498, right? And we know that the xz and yz are the same thing. So once you know xz, and we know yz, so maybe I'll write the yz is equal to where's the eraser here? Yz equal to 498, right? Alright, so let's look for find x, y, z, right? So one thing we know is that from here, right, if xz and yz are equal to each other, we actually know that x equals y, right? So we know that xy equals 576, so xy is the same thing as x squared, right, which is equal to 576, right? Then all you have to do is take the square root of both sides, so x is equal to square root of plus or minus, but we're looking at the length, so it's square root of 576, right? And what kind of number is that? Let's see, I have to do it. Let's see, so it's something squared, so 576, right? So it's an even number, divide by 2, so it's let's see, 2 and let's see 8 and 8, right? Divide by 2 and 1, 4, 4. I think I recognize that it's 12 and 12, right? So this is going to be 24. So this is 24, right? Because you can make a group of here. So there's 2 2s and 2 12s, right? 24. So x is 24. So we know that, and y is the same number, 24, right? Then we just have to find z. So z is equal to from here. Z is equal to 498 divided by, so x is 24. Alright, so that will be, let's see, 2, that's going to be 48. So let's see, 48, 18, let's see. Okay, maybe I have to do it this way. I'm getting stuck here. Alright. So is this gonna divide evenly? Maybe not. Maybe just to divide through by, so 2, right? It's even number. 200. Let's see. 4, 9. Right. So divide by 2. So it's 12. Right. And divide by 3. Then you get 8 and 83, and divide by 3 would be 4, and so this is 83 over 4, right? Let's see if that's correct. Let's see, 24, 83 over 4, right? Submit for testing. Okay, actually I can do the division correctly, so that's the problem. Alright, so sorry about that here. I did this computation incorrectly. So let's fix this one. Right, and I think it's going to be an easy fix. Alright, so this is actually if you divide by 4, So it's 1 and it's actually 4, 4. So this is going to come out to be 3 times 4 is 12, and another 12, and 432. So this is 432, right? I don't think everything else is not going to be affected. So 24 is still 24. So Z is going to be equal to 432 divided by 24, right? So hopefully this is going to be a nice number. So it's so I'm going to just erase this, and that was wrong. And so 432 divided by 24. Alright, let's do it to 24. So there's a 2 here, there's 9 here, 1. Right? So this is going to be, let's see, 7. Oh, actually, it's 9. 8. Alright, so I think my brain's frozen. Alright, so it's 2 times 8 is 16, so that will work out. Alright, so this is 18. So this was 18. Alright, so let's type it in. 18 here. Alright, hopefully this is going to give us the answer. Alright, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, sorry about the division mistake, but everything else is, I think it looks okay. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.